This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not claiming to be one. I'm just doing some reverse engineering here. But anyways, the old coot here, come back at you with another exciting video. So let's say you're in a situation where you're at a stoplight and your idle is acting kind of funny, right? Like the car's warmed up. It's been running for like 20 minutes. Sometimes it can even be worse, or you'll have worse symptoms if the car's been running even longer. But what happens is you're stopped at a stoplight and you get this like boop, like a little boop in your idle, maybe every 20 seconds, maybe every 30 seconds. Sometimes it could be a hard boop where like the whole car shakes and you think it's going to die. What may have happened, this is my buddy's car, but what may have happened, at least in my buddy's case, was first problem was the battery got down to 7 volts. I think he left the lights on by accident one time, walked away from the car for like an hour or two, had lunch or whatever, came back, started the car, had a hard start, but eventually the car restarted. So the ECU might have forgotten, right? The computer, the car might have forgotten how to adjust the timing, the air fuel spark ratios. The second thing that may have happened was my buddy did the seafoam intake cleaning, right? The upper intake cleaning where you disconnect the air hose, you spray the seafoam in, and it basically cleans out the throttle body, the upper valves, all that kind of stuff. So again, the butterfly is now working correctly, right? It's closing properly, but the computer hasn't caught up to my buddy's driving yet. He could continue to drive for like another 200, 500 miles. Eventually it'll fix itself, we hope. Or you could just do it a lot quicker, which is this way. So you watching this video for entertainment purposes only may also encounter this problem if you have to change out your battery, right? And the computer of the car just doesn't have a chance to recalibrate correctly, right? The electronic timing and all that. So here's what we did. Driver's side of the car, pulled the fuse box cover off. There's a tab there and there's a tab there. You basically push in one hand on one hand on the other. Push in on those tabs, the cover comes straight up and out. Once you get the cover off, there is a fuse puller that's there. And basically what you're looking for is there's 2 specific fuses that control the ECU. There's one right there, right? See if I can grab focus. 10 amp ECU B, see that there, number 2. Then there's another one on this side, which is the same thing, ECU B 10 amp, right? So where that's located in the fuse boxes, right there, between the 10 and the 10, there's one there that we pulled out. And then over here, so you have to go across these huge ones, right there between the 20 amp and the 10 amp, that's where the other one was. So pulled each one out individually, set the fuses aside, right? Did not put the fuse in my pocket. I basically put the fuses on a table next to the area that we were working on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave those fuses out for about 10 minutes to completely drain out any residual electricity that's in the ECU fuses and also in the ECU, obviously, right? Because we pulled the fuses out. So I want to make sure that electricity is completely out of there. That should reset the ECU the fastest, quickest way possible. Then what I'm going to do is put the fuses back in the way they're supposed to go. Also, a good idea to keep track of is the 1, right? 1 and 0, 0 and 1. Is the 1 on the right side or the left side? So when you put the fuses back in, you should put them in like the right way. You might also have a blown fuse. Make sure you check and see if you have a blown fuse or something similar. But anyways, that's what we're going to try. If that doesn't work, the next thing is we're going to have to disconnect power to the entire car. And the way to do that is by disconnecting the battery. Just as a quick video, let me set this aside real quick. So just as a quick instructional video, right, for entertainment purposes only, if I turn the car back on and the idle's still doing that boop, right, every few seconds or every 20 or 30 seconds, what I'm going to do, the next step is shut off the car, let it cool down a little bit, maybe like an hour or so, right? Make sure the car's completely cool to the touch. What I'm going to do then is the next step is to disconnect the battery. So negative comes off first. Make sure everything's off. The car's off. The headlights are off. Everything's completely off. But I'm going to disconnect the negative first, wrap it up in a towel so that negative doesn't touch anything. Then I'm going to disconnect the positive, right? Same thing, wrap it up in a towel, make sure it doesn't touch anything. Leave the car battery disconnected for about 10 minutes. And what I'm going to do is during that time, I'm going to turn the headlights on. They'll probably go on for about maybe a minute or two, and then they'll completely dim down to nothing. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to drain out any electricity, residual electricity that may still be in the radio or the electronics or the capacitors or any of that kind of stuff. After about 10 minutes, what I'll then do is when I reconnect the battery, I'm going to reconnect the positive first and then reconnect the negative. So to disconnect the battery, it's negative first, then positive. To reconnect the battery, it's going to be positive first and then connect the negative. If you go out of order, you may pose some other electrical issues, which I think may have also happened with my buddy's car. But anyways, let's try the fuses work, see if that fixed the idling issue where hopefully the ECU can now reset itself properly, quickly, faster. You kind of get a sense of what I'm getting on there to reset my buddy's idle. If that doesn't work, then I'll do the battery. With that being said, if you see a video after this one, it means the fuse thing didn't work and I had to reconnect the battery. If you don't see a video after this one on this specific topic, it means that the fuse thing worked. If you do decide to try it yourself, remember, you're at your own risk, warning, liabilities, all that stuff. Like I said, this video is designed for entertainment purposes only. Comment down below. Let me know if you've tried this, if it worked for you, if it didn't work for you, what your results were, etc., etc. Hypothetically and for the purposes of entertainmently speaking. Anyways, with that being said, links are down below in the description. Also in the comment section, I'm the Old Coot, and I'll catch you all on another fusey kind of day.